Russia has sought to justify its targeting of Ukraine's energy infrastructure as strikes against the country's military command system. But Amnesty International says the targeting of civilian infrastructure is unlawful and aimed at terrorizing civilians.
We, as an operator, have to introduce rolling power cuts to maintain this balance between generation and consumption at every moment of time. Without this balance, power system cannot operate, it would collapse. So it is our job to make sure that the power system is still up and running.
Attacks, he says, have created a lot of suffering, exacerbating an economy and business activity already depressed by the war, while the humanitarian implications of the lack of power, for heating in particular during the winter months, has made the situation that much more acute.
From the position of our maintenance worker at substation, it happens so that you hear air raid siren or alarm. You go into the shelter, and then you see 1, 2, sometimes 5 explosions from above. Then you go out in 2, 3, maybe 5 hours. You see the equipment, high voltage equipment, damaged, burning. You wait until fire teams will allow you to start repair works, and then you restore the substation. You spend a week, sometimes 2 weeks, a month to restore the basic functionality of the substation, to restore it from this massive destruction, and then you probably get another hit, and you start it from the scratch again and again.
Russia also occupied the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, Europe's largest, in the early stages of the war, that Ukrainian officials say has removed a massive 6 gigawatts of generation from the grid. They've called for additional air defense systems to help better defend the country's infrastructure, equipment supplies to replace the large-scale destruction of the energy grid, while pointing to increased imports from Europe as critical to stabilizing their energy supply. As Ukraine seeks greater alignment with the West to further diversify its energy supply.
For the next 10 years, probably we need to build 2 more nuclear blocks and at one of Ukrainian stations. We need to build so-called decentralized generation, the small generation in the different regions that will help us to be more sustainable. But here the idea is to use biogas, biotechnologies, probably burn waste, so to make it with new technologies and just move from coal to the new different story.
We can import electricity from Europe, and currently we use around 400 megawatts of imports to compensate partially this deficit that we have in the system. However, the potential, the technical potential is much larger, few times larger than the current import capacity.
Ukraine's winters are generally very cold, with temperatures often plunging well below freezing. Shervin Brycepease, SABC News, New York.